Whenever you see this in the market, it can change the game and make you more profitable. But you only want to do this when you see an A+ setup. I'm going to show you an A+ setup that I took earlier today. It resulted in about 360 in profits. Keep in mind, I'm trading the mini NASDAQ. This is paper trading, a part of the TradingView 50K challenge. But it just goes to show the potential that can come from the micro accounts as well. And it was 2 contracts, and I'll show you how I went about it using the open range breakout strategy. That's basically paying attention to how the market ranges when it opens up, like within the first 15 minutes, and then determining which direction it wants to go when it breaks out of a particular box. And it's a powerful strategy partnered with having the ability to know when you have an A+ setup. If you want access to the tool that lets me know when I have an A+ trade setup, then it's a link down below. But nonetheless, let's look into it and see what changes the game in terms of when you see this opportunity, execute, but only if you see an A+ setup. Let's dive into it. All right, so I ended this trade about 8:50, give or take, so that time hasn't presented itself just yet. This is the replay, obviously, on the paper trading account, but I want to show you what I was looking at. So you see the bias, the live bias is bullish. We got a trending buy potential signal. Let me pause it right there because a buy signal just presented itself. This represents a buy signal inside our group, and some of the buy signals are named after certain individuals inside the group based on their trading style and type. It's kind of a fun, cool way to pay homage to those who are in the group who have their own trading style. And this one is connected to a queen by the name of Rayleigh, and she loves to use the open range breakout. So these purple lines represent the opening range for the first 15 minutes, give or take. And basically it ranged between these areas, but the market has to pick a side. Does it want to go above that range or below that range? So a buy signal presented itself. Now, is that an A+ setup? Let's see. We got trending bars in the upward direction, which represents a buy. We have a buy signal. That's 2 for 2, 2 out of 4. We got a live bias being bullish. That's 3 out of 4. And we got some green momentum. So that's an A+ setup, if I ever seen one. Plus is going out of this open range. So now that the time frame has presented itself, this is about where I entered the trade, around here, and the take profit is positioned up there, the first take profit, then we got a second take profit, third take profit, and then the stop loss is down here, and this represents the entry line. This line right here represents the entry line. So that being said, this is about where I entered the trade. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit buy, just so we can kind of reenact what happened, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit play again so we can see how the market moved. So after I hit buy, the market started going in my favor, but I was just paying attention to it. So let's see if it starts moving. It started going in my favor, so it went up, boom, 57. We're looking good. I'm like, okay, I placed the buy. Let's see if it go ahead and hit that TP, and then the market does what it does. So it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, when the market went down some, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it for the sake of this example, when the market went down some, I placed another buy. And this is what I said could be a game changer. If I was confident in the A+ setup, then I must be confident enough to know that it could potentially go up. Now, you only do this when you got the funds within it to make it happen. You don't do this if you don't have an A+ setup and if you don't want to blow an account, and you just have to do it at your own risk. But for me, I was like, okay, in real time with real money and the bandwidth to do so, when it goes down, I want to place another buy to get another good entry. Now, it was actually in the red, so it was a little bit lower when I placed my buy, but I placed the second buy in order to get a second entry. And that positions me to not only make up for the down or the drop that has taken place from my initial entry, but also maximize the profits in the event that it goes towards the take profit one. Hopefully that makes sense. So as you can see now, showing to have 2 contracts because I placed another buy. And this was only because it was an A+ setup. I believed in the direction it was going, and I had the bandwidth to do so. Then it went to 200 plus. I stayed in because I told myself I'm gonna let it go to the take profit one. Typically, when you have an A+ setup in our system, you have an 80% success rate in terms of whether it hits the take profit one on the minimum. Now, plenty of times it goes through all of the take profits, but sometimes it doesn't. So 80% is the number. But as you can see, it got close to the take profit. I stayed in it because I said I wanted to see it hit the take profit. So let's pause right here. Once I saw that it actually cleared the take profit, I went ahead and closed my position, and my profit was about 361 to be exact. So 361 profit in that short time frame, because if I entered on this candle, then 2, 4, 6, 8, about 10 minutes, give or take, 360 was made. Now, some people trade with more contracts, which means that they could have made a lot more. Some people trade with less, which means, you just make less. But do what works for you. But that was the strategy. And when you understand the importance of having an A+ setup, plus if you see that it's going against you, a potential opportunity to re-enter, keep the same contract you had open, but re-enter, that was a game changer for me. Now, of course, you experienced traders, you already know the game. But for those who are looking for opportunities to maximize your profit, sometimes if you have an A+ setup and you see it's going down, you can re-enter another trade, and now as that trade is going back to your original entry, you're kind of making up for some of the losses because you have a better entry on top of the original entry, an A+ setup, and you're waiting for whatever your take profit is. For me, I wanted it to hit the TP1, and that's exactly what it ended up doing. It also went along to hit that take profit too. It just took a little longer. So let's look at how the market continued after that. So it kept doing what it do, so I actually got at a good time, based on time frame, because it started going back down. But patience is key, and sometimes you have to take a trade and step away so you're not caught up in the ups and downs, because it's doing a lot of sideways. And then it eventually got back to that level to hit that take profit 1, and ultimately it went up to touch that take profit 2. Doesn't mean it's gonna keep going up. It could shift, but it did get up to that take profit. Well, it got close to the take profit 2. So I actually got at it a great time, I'll say. It says congrats trader, 381. This is just a replay. My actual profit was 361. But long story short, just understanding when you have an A+ setup and having your set target. Mine was take profit 1. What if I would have had it at take profit 2? Then I would have been, at a loss by now. But I stuck to my guns. Now, it could still hit all of these take profits, but my plan was to let it hit that take profit 1. That's what I did, and it was a profitable trade. So that was the game changer for me. The biggest lesson for me is having an A+ setup when you trust it and you believe in it, and partnering with the ORB strategy. And then if you see it coming down, it's a potential opportunity to re-enter a new trade on top of the original trade. And a couple other things that play a part is some news and things that came out about Microsoft and, their earnings report and things of that nature that helps move the NASDAQ as well. So that's all. If you want access to the tool so you can know when you have an A+ setup, then it's a link down below. You know what to do, so do what you know. Mr. Smith signing out.